The man behind the region's best-known attractions is speaking publicly today about his reasons for stepping down as chief executive. Sir Tim Smit is still involved with the Eden project, but now has a less hands-on role day to day. It's been one of the region's most successful attractions, but is now trying to cut costs and boost visitor numbers. Well, our business correspondent Neil Gallacher is with Sir Tim Smit at the Eden project now. Neil.
Justin, I don't think I've ever seen a business idea in the region which has succeeded as spectacularly as the Eden project. For all that it's had its wobbles in recent years, it has fundamentally changed a lot of thinking about what can be done in a place like Cornwall. So stepping aside by the chief executive is a significant moment, and I'm delighted to say Sir Tim Smit is with me now. To what extent are you pulling back from a controlling role here?
Well, I've never actually had a controlling role. I've always been the project champion. I've been called chief executive, creative director, bottle washer. This is a recognition, just like when I was at Helligan, when you get a place into a steady state, there's a point at which you have to look at the horizon and where you're going next. We're in a situation of austerity in Britain. The funding isn't available. Visitor numbers to Cornwall have been going down, as have visitor numbers to the Eden project. And you either take this passively or aggressively. You grab the world by the throat, and that's what I did in February.
Does this suggest that the cost cutting actually is deemed to require a firmer pair of hands than you've been able to give it?
No, not at all. In fact, rather the opposite. What we've all agreed is that the opportunities that we are now facing in China and the Middle East are so great that that's the only way that we're going to get the capacity to actually grow Eden.
And you're going after those opportunities personally?
Yeah, well, as you know, we've talked about you coming to China with us. We've already done one big deal in China with Vanke, the world's biggest house builder, and I'm going off next Thursday to China to, I hope, put pen to paper on a really big Eden project in China. And the ambition for us is we want to build our education facilities on the boundary here, because we need a mixed economy of education and visitor destination. A lot of people forget that although we are the visitor destination of the year and have been for the last 2 years, that actually we're an educational charity, and education lies at the heart of everything we do. And the demand for that education is now coming out of China, who are really hungry for sustainability and green technology and everything else.
But you, Tim Smit, have had until now a board seat on Eden Project Limited. You've been chief executive of that. You no longer have the vote on the board, so inevitably that waters down your role here.
I've never ever voted in my life on any board I've ever been on. We're a collegiate organisation. This decision was jointly arrived at, and I said, I want to do this, just like I did with Helligan. I know you'd like to characterise it as me standing back, but actually, I'm so excited that I've got the chance to actually rebuild something that is going to be bigger than Eden was in the first place. The scale of the opportunity is enormous. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds around the world.
In a word, are you confident that Eden will still be here in 10 or 20 years' time?
I'm supremely confident Eden will be here, but I hope it'll be a darn sight bigger. My children went to school around here, and the eco-town has now got no money, and it is a really centrally important thing for the strategy of this region that Eden gets its act together. OK,
well, Tim Smit, it's been a fascinating career thus far. We will follow it with interest. For now, from the Eden project down near St Austell, that's it from here.
Thank you, Neil.